Oh, for our birthday. Yeah.
Did they say why?
We don't have the fire department here.
I'll tell you that.
Okay.
All right, evening, ladies and gentlemen, 6 PM, Tuesday, September 11th, town board monthly meeting. First item on the agenda is going to be the pledge, but I'd like to offer a moment of silence, if we would, for the 9/11 victims and what that our country went through. Could you join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Item 2, to approve the agenda for the meeting. Anything? Hearing none. Item 3, approve minutes from August 8th, 2018 town board. Any motions?
I can make a motion to approve August 8th, 18 town board meeting.
Motion by Patty, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Andrew. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed? Item 4, public comment period. People wishing to address the board and the audience, limited to 2 minutes each, with public comment period limited to no more than 30 minutes. Anybody wishing to speak? Yes, Shirley.
Still waiting to hear from the Police and Fire Commission.
Okay? Can't tell you anything, I don't know.
You're the town chairman, are you?
I've addressed it with them. That's all I can do.
You're the town chairman, and this is the board here, sitting here. Why is it that you people don't have some enforcement over this? Or, I don't think anybody really cares or cares to do anything about it.
Okay, anybody else wishing to speak? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 5 then. Monthly reports from departments. Both of our assistant fire chiefs are on the work detail tonight. So Andrew, if you would provide us with their report.
All right, the fire department is currently staffed with 40 EMS and fire members. 2 are non-structural firefighters and 5 EMS-only members. Total number of 20 members are trained to do EMS. We're currently looking for members in the fire and EMS side of the department. If you're interested in the communities that we serve or interested in serving on our department in those capacities, please stop by the fire station or contact the fire department at the town hall here. As far as the request for service or the calls in the past month for the month of August, since the last report to the board, the department has responded to 28 calls for service consisting of the following: 17 EMS calls, 8 fire calls, 2 mutual aid calls with Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department, and 1 mutual aid with the Juneau County for the flooding that they had down there to assist. The training info for last month, the EMS training did medical scenario training at the station, and the fire department did ladder, dump tank, and pump operations at Mid-State Technical College. They held their monthly meetings, department meetings, officer meeting, training meeting, and EMS training. The public relations programs are still active are the smoke detector program, the address sign program, and as far as the safety report goes, last month there have been no injuries since the last report. Does anybody have any questions at all about the fire department report?
I do.
Patty?
I was just wondering, a while ago, you had created a poster for the fire department for applications or looking for members to join. Have anyone step forward from those posters?
Yes, we did. Arnie, you might be able to know the exact numbers, but I think I heard for sure 2.
I believe there was 3.
Okay.
Okay, it was shortly right after we did that. I don't know, did we?
We have 2 that were entirely outside of the department and had not worked for us before. 1 was an EMS only person that went to it, so that's the 3 right now
Okay.
that have stepped forward, and those 3 are very active as far as making the calls.
Did you happen to talk to them and determine whether or not the flyer, the ad, had anything to do with them coming in?
No, I did not. But I
Something we
can
should
say,
do.
one of them, from what I've, well, I shouldn't say what I've overheard, rather than what I know, so
Okay.
let me stop it right there, but.
That's something we should do though, is follow
Mhm.
up with them, maybe, we can do that, I can do that at the next fire department meeting, just to
Okay.
see, I'm kinda curious as to whether or not that ad did, bring the
And
pro.
then are there posters that we're able to get so that we can maybe post them in different areas?
We don't have anything right now that I'm
Okay.
aware of, but
Okay.
I wouldn't see an issue with being able to utilize what we put in
Okay,
to the newsletter that went out.
okay.
So, I know Lisa's got that, so
Mhm.
we could probably get that out,
Oh, that'd be great.
no problem.
I'd like some if I could,
Yeah.
please. Thank you.
Thank you.
William?
How many people were interviewed for fire chief, and what were their names?
We don't know.
We don't know. We knew the last time.
The Police and Fire Commission didn't announce to me any number of people that they had. I cannot tell you.
Who
And it's not
received
public
the
record.
applications?
It came into the clerk, but it's directly to the Police and Fire Commission.
I will find out why we can't. I think you should find out why we can't, why we don't know that. Maybe that's another problem with the Police and Fire Commission.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions at all about the fire department that I can answer today? All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, Lieutenant Dave Drinkline will do the police report in the absence of Chief Mel. Evening, Dave.
Evening. Did everybody get a copy of Mel's report with the stats from
Yep.
last month?
We did,
Okay.
thank you.
So for the month of August this year, we had 462 calls for service, compared to 388 calls for service last year, which is about 19% increase. We do have a breakdown of the calls in your second sheet behind Mel's report. The police department issued 90 traffic citations, 24 municipal ordinance citations, and 67 written warnings for the month of August. During that time, Officer Conover attended the motor carrier enforcement training at the State Patrol, which his training gets him working with CDLs, registration for commercial motor vehicles, inspecting the vehicles, working with weights and stuff like that. So that was a week-long training that he went to. I went down to the law enforcement recognition luncheon down at Lake Geneva, which was put on by the Bureau of Transportation and Safety. The only way to get invited to that luncheon was to participate in the high traffic visibility grants. There's 4 of them a year that we do, and I'm sure somebody from your agency had gone to that also. The auxiliary, they assisted with the Corvettes of the North car cruise on August 4th. To my knowledge, we didn't have any major incidents this year like we did last year because we had extra people out during it. I'm going to say that the department vehicles are doing well, but I think most of us know that Seth kind of had a run-in with a deer last night coming home from training in Wausau, and the 2010 is sitting out here with a smashed up
I
front
was
end.
gonna ask, I saw it sitting out there, so that's what
Yeah,
happened
he
to
was
that?
on his way home from training last night, and he took one dead center in the grill, so. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
Could you give us an update on the new vehicle?
The new vehicle, Mel has it already striped, and yesterday I took it to Brian up at Low Voltage, and it's being built with all the electronics. Should be done, there's figuring a week to 10 days it should be done. So by the time Mel gets back from his vacation, that should be ready for the road.
And Seth
So.
is getting that one too?
Mhm.
Okay.
Little nervous. Get that out of the way now. So.
Hopefully that's
Good thing
behind
it
you.
was.
Right.
Yeah, like I talked with Arnie last night, I've been here 8 years, and I can't think of a crash with a deer this bad for us. I mean, we've had our minor dings and stuff like that, but this is probably the worst one.
Was it out on the interstate?
Yeah, it was on 39 in front of Cronewetter Fire Department,
Oh, okay.
on 39 there.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the most important.
Apparently, he slowed down enough not to deploy the airbag, so.
Yeah.
Good.
He said
Which
he
is
was-
surprising when you look at that from that.
Yeah, it's the radiators into the fan and stuff like that.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was shocked to see.
Is that the one that was having the airbag issue?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Mel might be the one to ask that one,
Okay.
but I'm not aware of any airbag issue.
Okay.
Any other questions for him?
Aren't they the fuel issue that was?
What's that?
That
Was
was,
that the one that had the fuel issue?
No, that was the other two chargers
Okay.
that had the fuel pump issues, which we think we figured it out, so. Not to overtop the gas tank, because it drains out of, we were told that it drains, if you let it go until the pump clicks, don't top it off after that, because if you go over that, it goes into a canister, which overdoes the pump, is what they're telling us now.
Are they replacing any of that stuff?
We replaced, we put in like one in each car, maybe two in the one car, as far as fuel pumps go. It's leaving like a pinhole right in the top of the pump, but they gotta go in through the back seat to get to it. So,
okay, anything else? Thank you very much, Dave.
Yep.
Thank you.
Amy Cook, are you ready for a treasurer's report?
Good evening.
Good evening.
For the month of August, current month receipts were $388,270, and current month disbursements were $228,637. Cash on hand at the end of the month was $979,422, with $105,951 in checking, and $559,964 in the repo account, and $317,942 in the money market. Any questions?
Hearing none, we sit down. Thank you. Item 6, consider an approval of combination Class B liquor license for the Highway 54 Family Restaurant, 7330 Plover Road, Emmanuel Felipe Castillo, agent. You have the packet in front of you. You've see that it's been approved by the police chief. His signature's on it. Is there any questions?
I did a normal breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Okay,
At
so early morning till evening?
morning, yeah, 6 a.m.
I'll make the motion that we approve the application for the Highway
Highway 54 Family
Highway
Restaurant.
54 Family Restaurant.
I'll second.
Second, motion by Dan, second by Patty. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And you have unanimous, and we appreciate the new business.
Thank you.
We wish you well.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7, consider an approval of the resolution 2018-26, the certified survey map for, is it Martlin? How do you pronounce it?
Martin.
Martin, with a different spelling. Shada is splitting 2 lots into 2 parcels and accepting road dedication as presented at 6010 Elkie Road, parcel number 0700699. That was at the planning commission last evening, Patty?
Right, and I
Is there
can give
any,
you a little update on that.
Sure.
What it amounts to is that you can see that Lot 1 has a house on it, and Lot 2 is a vacant lot. They both are approximately, well, they're both 0.47 acres, almost a half an acre lot. They meet all residential requirements for splitting the lots as far as frontage, side setbacks. There's enough room for septic. What I believe is going to be happening is he's going to be selling his home and then keeping the empty lot for himself or whatever down the road, so. I believe the gentleman lives in Rochester, Minnesota. Is that his current address, so that's why he's not here this evening.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2018-26, certified survey map.
Motion by Bill, second. And Dan. Any discussion? Both lots are over 20,000 square foot. I believe that's the minimum for our building, so they are buildable lots.
Right there.
Mhm. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Motion carries. Discuss updates on Mary Hanson's raise order extension to repair and remove house at 401050 8th Street South. I was unable to get to Mr. Fox. I thought I had his phone number in my phone, but apparently not. But I can tell you that the trailer, bulk of it is primarily gone. All that is sitting there right now is the frame rails for the trailer, so he's in a pretty good stage. He moved right along and hauled everything to the wayside.
Okay, so then he did decide not to repair, but to
Right,
remove.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so he's in final stages of cleanup. He did get rid of all of those. There was a pile of tires out back there, that's all been taken care of, and he's moved right along on it,
Okay.
so. Looks good,
All right.
and I think that's what I can give you for now. Move to item 9, which is consider approval of a event permit for Pink Pumpkin 6K Walk Run, Breast Cancer Family Foundation, October 20th, 2018, and the location is Lake Wazicha, around the lake. We have their updated insurance certificate on file, so we have everything's in order. Signed off by police chief and the acting fire chief.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Pink Pumpkin 6K Run Walk on October 20th, 2008.
Motion Dan,
Second.
second by Andrew.
Can you just make it contingent on the fee being paid? I
Oh, the
haven't
fee,
found
yes.
that out today yet, so-
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And second agrees.
Second agree.
Mhm. Any other discussion? Hearing none?
Oh, I was just gonna, oh, I see that they did request auxiliary
Yep.
police, okay.
Mhm.
Very good.
Anything else? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 10, Resolution 2018-25 is a resolution that was requested by the Towns Association, and I won't go through all the whereases, but therefore it be resolved that the town of Grand Rapids to urge governor and legislature to just fix it and agree upon a long-term sustainable solution, including responsible levels of bonding to adjust our user fees to adequately fund Wisconsin's transportation system. Furthermore, the town board directs the clerks to send a copy of this resolution to our state legislators and the governor.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Bill,
Second.
second by Andrew. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 11, consider approval of resolution 2018-27 to amend ordinance 13, prohibiting activities made certain crimes under Wisconsin statutes. A couple of changes that we made were referencing the sale or gift of cigarettes or nicotine tobacco products to people under the age of 18.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2018-27 regarding ordinance 13 prohibiting certain activities made crimes under Wisconsin state statute.
I'll second that motion.
Motion is by Andrew, second by William. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 12, consider approval of Jim Alford and Mike Sajakowski attending the Wisconsin State Fire Inspectors Conference in Green Bay, October 22nd to the 26th, 2018.
I'll make a motion that we approve sending Mike Ski
Yep.
and Jim Alford to the Fire Inspectors Conference.
I can second.
Motion by Dan, seconded by Patty, and the cost was $270 if anybody needs to know. Any other discussion?
$670.
$670.
Well, that was awful cheap.
Does that include your hotel?
No, they pay their hotel over 50% dues.
Yeah. So alls we, just to be clear, alls the town is paying is for the registration fee.
Right.
Lodging and that will be paid 2% to the
Okay.
So I have another question.
Yep.
Well,
Did we get a second?
Yes.
We did, okay, go ahead then,
That
Patty.
was myself.
Mm-hmm,
Is this yearly
yes.
training?
Mhm.
And I don't recall, have both of these gentlemen attended this before?
Yes.
It's normally these two,
Okay.
the fire chief and then Mark Mahoney, the other
Yeah.
inspector.
Is
But
this a certification?
I believe this is.
To maintain
I believe
certification?
so.
I don't know,
I can't tell you that.
can't tell you if it's a certification, but it's like a continuing ed. And every year is something different. It's not like they're going to the same conference, the same vendors. Every year, there's different classes. They go through updates in the code, what's coming up, and it's really a good enhancement for dealing with the changes that are coming up, making them aware of them too ahead of time, somewhat, even what they're starting to thinking about, so they can talk to people about them when they're out on inspections.
When they come back, do they share the information that they've learned of what's new, what,
I guess my understand, Ernie, you want to?
I don't know, people have,
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
My understanding is, and this is that they do share what they have come back with the officers at their officer meeting.
Okay.
But as far as the general meeting and the membership, not necessarily,
Okay.
but I'm sure that would not be an issue.
Okay, all right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if this is in, a question would be asked, is this in their budget? And you're saying yes, because they're taking it out of a 2% dues. So this is the first time I've seen this training on this and that we paid for it. I know one time we sent them out to Ohio or something, but why is this in our budget, to take it out of our budget? Do we have this in our budget?
It
for
actually
fire?
comes,
Let me.
well, I thought you were asking a question. Go ahead, finish.
No, you go ahead, answer whatever I was gonna say.
Yes, they have a training budget, so it's their lines, but it is in our funds.
It is
Okay.
on every year. This is always on the agenda each year.
And this is a repeat, it's probably 3 years for sure that I'm aware of, if not more.
Okay.
At least since I've been.
Mhm. Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Have an aye, any opposed? Opposed. Consider approval of the revised request for proposals for the building inspector. Are we okay with that now? And if we are so, somebody make a motion to accept it and put it to print.
I will make a motion to approve the request for proposal for printing inspection services and to put it to print.
Do we want to do a deadline of the next board meeting, or is there enough time for that?
When you say as far as the next, a deadline to
For-
accept
For the
applications?
RFPs to come in.
Because we could go to the November if we want.
Possibly, yes, I
And
would
it-
have to
without-
say.
Does it go out that far?
We don't want to,
I mean,
but I think we need to have.
Get it published in 4 days would be the minimum.
I guess I'd suggest maybe we go,
Oh, October.
if we
yes,
go 6
next
weeks,
month.
because in October we'll be doing budget meetings.
Yes.
So we can make
Right.
we can make it at midweek, so if we do 6 weeks out, we'd probably be pretty close.
I think that's, yeah,
October?
mid-October,
Mid-October.
6 weeks out, and that way, because we know we're gonna have board meetings in October for
Right,
budget.
every
So
week.
it's not like we're gonna have to have a special board meeting to review
That's a
them.
good, very good point.
And so we might as well, and give us some time to actually
Mhm.
decipher, go through them.
To have a deadline, to continue on with my motion, to have a deadline for October,
Mid-October. so-
Mid-October.
yeah, so you can set the date.
because then we could utilize that
Yep.
as budget, okay.
And I'll second it.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to put the request for proposal out for building inspection and related services to be issued as soon as possible to the paper, and a deadline to be mid-October, as it falls within a town board meeting, scheduled meeting. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Motion carries. Item 14 is the revised workplace violence and weapons policy. Any discussion? If not, a motion.
I make a motion to approve the revised workplace violence and weapons policy that was dated effective September 11, 2018, and I would request that it be effective today.
And I will second that.
Motion by Andrew, seconded by Dan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say
Aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Item 15, consider approval of the revised job performance management and disciplinary policy.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by William,
I can second.
second by Patty. Any discussion?
The only discussion I have on this portion is, just so the public is aware that all these policies we went through legislative,
Yeah, good
we
point.
have discussed them several times. This is the final approval. So it's not like we haven't read these or reviewed them or discussed them. They've been gone over time and time again, so just so everyone's aware of that.
Right, through personnel meetings and legislation, so.
Motion been made second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 16, consider an approval of resignation of part-time police officer Robert Crummell. Robert was employed with us, but accepted a position up in Stevens Point, I believe, and was hoping to be able to stay on part-time with us, but they don't want to share him, so.
I'll make that motion.
Patty?
Second.
How long has he been unemployed?
Employed here?
No, he was working here, he was hired actually for Portage County, and he was in a probationary period. And from my understanding, he could be on the department as a part-time employee, correct me if I'm wrong, as a probation officer, or probationary. But as soon as he got off probation, they now requiring him not to have any
No
second
moonlighting.
positions, yeah. Liability reasons and things like that, obviously,
gosh, yeah.
that's a very good choice on their behalf to do that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 I'm an aye, any opposed? We did get motion, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I
I
forget.
made the motion and Dan
Okay.
and Andy made.
Andy seconded.
Okay. 17, consider approval of Peggy Dowdy, Attorney Flanagan, and Board of Appeal members as desired, attending a workshop for zoning Board of Adjustment and Appeals in Wisconsin Rapids, October 18th, 2018, and that would also include Supervisor Clendenning. He's on that committee if he wishes to go.
And I guess I can ask a question. So nobody else put in for it?
When the last I heard from Peggy, she hadn't heard back, but she emailed, she just got this, I think, I think she forwarded it on Thursday.
I think the chairperson of the committee did. He said he would be able to.
The last
Okay.
time, she hadn't heard back from anybody, so that's why we just left it generally.
Was there a motion and a second yet?
Well, I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion Dan, seconded by
Patty.
Patty. Any other discussion? None, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I also agree, and I hope that more can attend it, because it is worthwhile. Item 18, consider approval of the updated fire chief safety director job description that we were been working on for the last few weeks, and period. Is there any changes, any corrections, or is it good to go?
I will make a motion to approve the fire chief safety director job description as presented.
Motion by Dan, seconded by Andrew, and discussion.
I had emailed some changes that I had thought, and I'm trying to find my paperwork. I apologize, I don't see that I have it here. Aha,
The ones with the red on, huh?
the ones with the red. Okay, so for the position description,
May I just ask a question? So are you amending the motion to approve?
She's
well,
discussing
I'm
it.
discussing it
Oh,
right
okay,
now,
okay,
so.
I just thought-
Yeah, and that's fine, I'm just discussing it,
Okay.
because then what we can do is, decide whether or not these changes are appropriate or not. Okay, so in the position description, it says the fire chief may delegate certain command details to subordinates, but final decisions on major changes in policy shall be approved by the town. I would like to see this statement added. These delegations will not be an additional expense to the town. That was one suggestion. In a bullet point under essential duties and responsibilities, it would be the 4th bullet point. It says maintain town fire department website and social media accounts. And I would like this part of the sentence added to it. Ensuring compliance with state laws and town policies, keeping the website up to date and accurate. Because we did have an incident last year in regards to not following state laws on that when they were posting things on the website. There'd be two bullet points after that. It says performs all known periodic fire code inspections, and the word ensure should not be I-N-S-U-R-E, it should be ensure.
I haven't changed the E, and I caught that.
Okay,
You guys should have
perfect.
E on 2 on yours.
It is, it's correct.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Should be ensure.
Then it would be 3 more bullet points down. Studies the growth, town's growth and general building characteristics and makes recommendations, and I would like to have added for town board approval for expansion and improvement of firefighting EMS. Then on the bullet point that says cooperates with, and I would like to say other municipalities in the best interests of the town.
Okay. Discussion is made, I guess, whether we have any discussion or not, we either need to make a motion to accept them or
I've
a
got
motion
more.
to, oh, I thought you said that was it.
No.
Okay, just wait, what was,
Where it says cooperates
With
with, it says with
contractual
other
agreement?
town departments. I would like it to say cooperates with other municipalities instead of town departments.
That was something we came up with, in one of the meetings, I can't remember which one that was, if it was legislation or not, regards to the, working together with the town, other town departments, say, that was why we put that in there, I think, was the
Okay.
reason why we did that. So the fire chief works well with other town entities,
Mhm.
that being the fire department, or the police department, and maybe public works and things like that.
Okay. Because then, under the category that says inspects and maintains the town's emergency warning sirens, I would like to add working with the emergency government agencies for activating the sirens for testing and actual weather warnings. I don't know if that is.
I don't think they do that. Fire
Those are
chief-
They don't do that.
totally by, I
That's a
don't,
Oh, that's,
dispatch.
oh, that's, okay, so.
emergency government, that's totally there.
That's totally them. It doesn't involve them?
Yeah.
Okay, well. I'll
Although
scratch-
well, I guess we're getting off the topic, I don't want to get in the discussion.
Oh, and then, I had also put on there, and you can correct me about this, but isn't he responsible for, the raising and lowering of the flags at the municipality and the firehouse? Because sometimes they say the firehouse, and maybe it's a timing issue that they haven't been, up to the municipal building, but I'll see one up, one down. And it might be just
Yeah,
because I'm
in
driving
that-
by at that time, I don't know.
I can answer that, but it's really not
Okay.
directive to this
It's
matter.
not, well,
I can answer
my
the question to
question
you.
is,
I'll answer the question to you.
okay, well, my question is it his responsibility, yes or no?
I don't know.
Okay, oh, okay,
I can tell you, we get emails.
okay,
And
and
we were
then final, when it comes to the addendums, I would like to have something in there in regards to fitness. I think it's important for them to be physically fit in, you know, some aspect. I do have an article in regards to the importance of fitness with firefighters.
Benny, I respectfully agree that you've got a lot of stuff here, but the only thing we're doing is asking, are you gonna make a amendment to add these? Because we need to have that in an amendment so that we could vote on it or vote against it, I guess, long and short of it.
I'd like
Because-
to make a motion to amend the job description for Fire Chief Safety Director.
With what you
with
previously
my-
stated.
Yeah, with my,
Is there a second to that? No second. I hear no second, so the motion fails. Motion to accept the job description as presented was made and seconded. Go ahead, Bill, now comment?
Yes. I was at this meeting. We worked, the youth worked a lot on it and took a lot of things into consideration. I felt you did a good job, but if I would have had that many questions on it, I would have made a motion to refer this back to committee. Maybe that's the thing to do. But,
Okay, any other comments?
I guess here's how I look at this, and I look at this as this is a general job description. We've discussed it in our committee in regards to every specific thing, and we agree that there's probably a lot of other duties and things that we maybe could list in here that might come along or might be things that the fire chief might do or the safety director might do. And just referencing back to when we talked with the attorney about it too, he mentioned even keeping things kind of short and simple to the point when we talked about it in legislative, and allowing language in here that encompasses additional duties to be assigned as needed by us as a governing board to them or as supervisors. And we do have that language in here in a couple different places that allows us to do that. And I'm not saying that disagree, Patty, there's other things that maybe could definitely come up, you know, that they would be doing, or definitely the stuff that might come along the way, as you've discussed. I think we can still do those things with that language in there as things come up or as we need to address things. I don't think that if we ask the fire chief to do something as a government body in the future and they fail to do so, we can still hold them accountable for what we're looking for them to do, even if it's not in the description, because we even say in here, this is not all inclusive, there's other things that are at that. So that was the reason why we kind of tried to keep it somewhat short and sweet. I kind of like it is. The fitness stuff, there's somebody around here that's going to be a proponent of physical fitness. I absolutely am 100%. I would be a little bit leery about putting it in there as a requirement or a qualification, just because then I would definitely want, if we're going to even think about doing that, to go back to our attorney and say, what are the legalities on that? Because now we're asking somebody to be something specific in terms of a physical fitness situation for a job, and we open ourselves up, I think, to some liabilities there. So, that's my thoughts on that.
Any discussion? Daniel?
Just real short, and again, Patty had emailed me a lot of these, and we had looked at them when we had went through this whole job
Last
description
revision.
change. Yeah, this last revision. And again, I respectfully agree with some of your stuff and disagree with some, but I think it's all good. But again, just to reiterate what Andy said, is this is general. This is very general. You know, some of the stuff as far as social media, you know, is that pretty, I'll call it shotgun effect, you know? Can we still ask them and to ensure that they are doing some of those things? Absolutely. But I do think this is a very good general job description, but also, like I said, in referring it to our attorney, said this isn't just the only thing that we can ask of them. We can still do it. So I really think this, I like it.
All right, any other discussion?
I just want to say that I'll be voting no, because I really think that we should put, you know, the things that I had suggested into it. So that is the reason why I'm going to be voting no against it.
Okay, respectfully understand that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Any opposed?
I'm
Aye.
opposed.
Two opposed?
I thought it should have went back to committee. There should have been a motion to send it back to committee, but that's all right.
All right, item 19 is the August disbursement vouchers questions. We spent less than we took in, is that correct? It's hard to believe.
Let's do that next time.
All right, move to item 20, operator license applications. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presented to you. Do you want them read, or are you okay with approving the bulk?
I'll make a motion to approve the operation license applications as listed
For 1 year.
for 1 year.
Motion, Dan.
Second.
Second, Andrew. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, but aye, any opposed? No. Monthly reports from committees. Why is Public Works always first, huh? All right, Public Works, trip project, which is a highway, is 36th Street off of Highway 54. That project is scheduled to start mid-September and be done in about 3 weeks. We need to meet as a group to update the 5-year road plan that's now down to 3 years, so we need to do that. So I'm suggesting that we find either a couple of evenings or a weekday, Saturday, to do a road inspection and come up with suggestions on what we're gonna do over the next 5-year period to update our roads. So is that agreeable to you for a, just let me get back to me later, you don't have to tell me now if we do a weekday or a Saturday. Just let me know, we'll figure it out. Other than that, the crew's cleaning up, doing brushing, and there's still a lot of patching of I don't want to say holes, but pots. Yeah, that seemed to pop up over the year. No water damage for the amount of rain that we did get over those 3 inches at a time. No significant damages anywhere.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, any questions on Public Works? Go ahead, William.
How about Lake Avenue and what's going to be done on that?
I asked who what? They did the crack fills.
Who's they?
Service in, we have for crack
Oh,
fill,
okay.
crack fill services, that's their name.
So it wasn't the county at all?
No, it was crack fill services that did it.
Okay.
And they looked at it, that they typically don't do a crack filling for till 3 years. This was done at 2 years, so we get ahead of it.
So was county contacted at all about it?
No, at the time we did it, we weren't sure that the county was now offering to do it. And I'm not sure that,
Well, I being on the county board, did ask Roland to go with me and check a couple of roads that I thought that the county did. And obviously, he didn't show up, so I asked him at a meeting, he said he didn't have time. So then I got some other people to look at some of the roads. Lake Avenue was one of them, and I think the county should have been responsible for that.
I personally think if you drive Lake Avenue now, I believe it's smooth. There's cracks, but when you have 12 inches of blacktop below and you mill off the first couple inches, it wouldn't surprise us that you'd get some cracks back, because we tried the full overlay of tar prior to the asphalt server that was recommended by the DOT people at the meeting. I still don't think it was the best result. I think we have a much better road on the second section where we did a cold rolled in place process, which in reality was only a couple $1,000s more to the milling cost than what it was. So I think that road's gonna hold up a whole lot better, personally.
And then one other thing, when we have our reports up here on number 5, and we included that the treasurer make a report, I think it's important to have our public works director basically make a report. I just think it's good, because I hear that we don't have time for this, or we're doing these things, and I don't know what they're doing. You know, only what you report, so I think there should be provisions made that attend the meeting or send a report. With the office staff, the administrative staff, they have our chief is the one that is responsible for that. If there's anything comes up, he makes a report. I just think it's nice to hear from our public works person.
Okay.
What he's doing.
Comment received, we'll investigate. Any other thing on Public Works? I can give you the Airport Commission. Our main construction project, or the first construction project of the year, was runway 1230, was completed. That road was, that runway was made larger, wider, not longer, and milled and repaved. That's complete. It's been seeded. The crack filling of the runway other runway should be this week or next. We started ground work today on the $3 million out of the $4 million of the airport apron taxiway and state approved funds project that was started. The federal project, which will take place next spring, which is a parallel taxiway to our long runway. The bids for this project were opened. I'm not sure who got the contract, but that will start in the spring. Fuel sales for jet is 175% ahead of last year, and last year we were ahead of the preceding year, so fuel sales are good. Jet traffic today, heavy. Yeah. The only reason I highlight jet is because that's primarily the source of our revenues. In June, we had 42 jets, July 39, and we had 45 jets in August. And most of them are buying fuel, which is a good thing for us. Any questions?
I just want to thank you for showing up at the county budget meeting about this. I appreciate that.
I don't know if I'm totally happy with their process they chose yet, but we'll take anything we can get from the county. I think we're going to end up, instead of $10,000 from the county as far as aid, we should be in the neighborhood of $8,000 from them. But whatever we get is appreciated. Patty?
Any more news in regards to new hangars?
We are doing a request for proposal right now for a large hangar that would be able to hold the Gulfstream 4 and 5 class plane, which has a tail height of approximately 28 foot and a wingspan of 90 feet. That's what we're looking to put in there, 90 feet.
Big garage.
That's a big garage, and those would be sliding doors. We saved $1 million from that state funds, which we're hoping to be able to do that. We're actively looking for sponsors, so if you want your name on a hangar, for a small piece, we'd be able to fit you in. But when you do rent that hangar to one of those large planes, it's not uncommon to be $1,200 a day for rent when you have it. So if a large plane doesn't come in, you can put a whole bunch of small ones in there. So.
So it won't sit empty.
So, we don't believe it would sit empty.
Right.
We're also did a request for proposal for what we call T-hangars. That's where a small plane, a single engine plane would be able to store. We are full. We have some hangars that we're gonna retire from being available for winter use. At least that's our plan, because they have north-facing doors which freeze up and really become unavailable to the people. So our idea is to eventually, and we'd still need board approval to do that, was to make them seasonal for 9 months out of the year, and then 3 months out of the year, if you want to keep your plane in there, we're not going to charge you because you're not going to get it out. The idea is to build 7 more T-hangars off the edge of it, and those would be as part of our project that we would do too, and those would then be rented out at a slightly higher rate than it, because they'd have a different style door, which is more advantageous to the pilots. So that's the main things. We did get the ground power unit, which was commission approved purchase a couple months ago. That was $36,000 for it. It's already been hooked up 5 times, and we charge $75 an hour when it's hooked up to the planes. They have, most of them want to have them run for their heating and air conditioning services instead of running their auxiliary engines they have in place.
So the buildings or the hangars, one of the main purposes would be for de-icing, like in the winter, is that?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily? Okay.
Yeah, not necessarily. We'd have a de-icer, but the last 2 years that we've had it, we've had no request to use it for winter.
Okay.
So it's typically if
Mainly
they
just to
can't.
get them out of the weather and
Mhm.
thick conditions, hail.
Primarily is if you have a plane that's worth, upwards of 50 to 75 million, you'd like to protect the skin of it.
Sure.
Mhm.
And,
Nice
So-
report, thank you.
okay, any other questions or not? We'll move on to recycling and solid waste. And Bill, you got an event coming up shortly, huh?
Yes, Saturday we have an event coming up, and we're need volunteers. We running short of volunteers this year, but we got a lot of stuff that's come in already, and we're hoping, I believe, I talked to Rick, and he said he would have it ready by Thursday. Is that true, Patty?
Yes, that's what he
And,
had mentioned to me also.
We'll probably be working on that. I appreciate all they did, so. Yes, we will have the event, recycling and solid waste. I'll be on the radio Thursday at 12:30 about it. And also, we paid to have a 5-day notice of it read out loud on over the back fence. So,
You did see we had a couch that we picked up off of one of our roads and
yeah.
throw in the dumpster when you get it there.
Right.
Hey, quick question.
Go ahead.
That's just for the town to throw in the dumpster.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
be bringing by,
Right. No.
Are we, did you get a hold of the police auxiliary? Are they helping out?
I did write a request in May, for May and September, police auxiliary, but,
I'll have to ask Cody.
okay.
Cody's kind of running now.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I know
haven't
in
heard.
the,
Last time, we
Last-
didn't have one. They didn't have enough personnel to
okay,
help us out.
well, it must have been time before, but it was really
Right,
nice to
the
have
time
it, so-
before, it was very nice to have one, yes.
Yeah, Patty donates to that, so.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Here then, we'll move to Plan Commission. They met last evening. Patty, you want to update us?
Yes.
Long meeting, short meeting?
It was longer than normal, but not a super long one. But we had a land use permit for the Highway 54 Family Restaurant, which they're here this evening. So that was approved. We also had a dog exemption permit for 3 dogs. We also did, last night, the Martin Schultes Certified Survey Map, which we had this evening and approved. We had Express Recycling Solutions coming in for a land use permit to have some self-contained storages on the property. We also had a very interesting land use permit request for a 48 by 72 pole barn and a 15 by 30 greenhouse, which is going to be used for personal use and also a hobby or feasibility study for himself in regards to aquaculture and aquaponic techniques. And we also approved a land use permit for T-Mobile, which they are putting an additional antennas on an existing cell tower that we have over here on 64th Street. And then we did discuss the comprehensive plan, and I'll be bringing this information also to our town board meetings, but we're looking at approximately $7,000 plus for costs to have Wood County update our comprehensive plan.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Any questions? Dan?
Do you know how many building permits actually were issued so far this year?
Building permit,
For houses or
Yeah.
other?
I think we're up to 27 homes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe I looked today, there's 232 permits total.
Oh, 232
Okay.
permits, yeah.
But
That's the number of permits, but that's
Yeah.
including driveways and everything else that goes along. The 4 permits for a house, heating, air conditioning, ventilation, or whatever we call it. Yeah. But
50
yeah.
of them for restaurants.
Mhm, Interesting. Any questions? If not, public buildings, do you have a meeting?
Public building, we actually did. I think I think it was before last meeting, we met with a lot of the residents and discussed the Westlawn Park over there and some of their questions and concerns regarding that. And I would like to do a special thanks to our town crew and emergency government. They were able to get over there. They did some painting, they put down some new bark, they cleaned that up a little bit, and we're still working on it. It's not complete, done, but it looks very nice, and appreciate their quick response, and looks good.
Okay, questions?
Dan, are they gonna be mowing that frequently then?
They do, yeah, and now as some of the road projects are getting more of a handle, they didn't get it mowed as they normally do in the past, but they are caught up on that and are going to.
Are the part-timers getting in mowing?
As of right now.
I don't believe they
he's-
needed to
he's not
hire
gonna-
any.
He didn't, he felt that right now they could take care of it, so they did not,
Didn't do that?
didn't do it. We gave him the option, and he wanted to just see how they could do, since airport,
Yeah.
and Whit Rock were
Or finished, yeah.
finished up, they have a little more time, but yeah. So it's looking good and seems to be.
Sounds good.
So
Go ahead,
we
go
did
ahead.
hire some part-timers?
No, we
No.
have
Oh,
part-timers.
No, we get asked, we gave Rick the option of using, he had a couple of part-time employees that they use for snow plowing, that if he needed to catch up on the mowing,
Oh,
that
okay.
he was authorized to use them, which he never did.
Any other questions? Legislative committee, we had some discussion, some of the results was forwarded here, so I guess there's nothing else to talk about there. Public safety, did you meet?
We did not.
Economic development has not met, but I can tell you, we are expecting that new business that we had some discussion on Highway 54 to take place. I did see they did purchase the property, so that looks like that's going forward. Some type of heating and air conditioning wholesaler is what it's going to be, from my knowledge. Personnel committee, anything?
We did meet and we approved the update of the job description for the fire chief, safety.
Any questions? WTA meeting, I did not attend, that was way out in Portage County.
No, it was in Marathon County, yeah.
Oh, Marathon, well, just.
No, at Mead Woodard, the Mead Wildlife area. And it was all about the gentleman that was the head of the farm technology days gave his presentation. Also at it was Pat Teston, and Nancy Vandermeter was there, and then Speaker Dennis Bengart, who is head of the farm technology days, and Tammy Baldwin's representative was there. And the next meeting is going to be September 21st at Town of Seagull Town Hall.
Any questions? None. Reports from individual board members. William, anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Daniel?
I would just like to say that we did with Robert Crummell.
Mhm.
He was definitely a lost art department, very good officer,
Hate to see him go, understand, but would like to thank him for all his efforts and everything he has did for our police department. And he'll be missed.
Anything else? Patty?
I was gonna say the same thing in regards to Officer Crummell, so appreciate his time that he has
Okay.
dedicated to our town.
Okay.
Just a quick thank you to our volunteer firefighters that went over and helped out over with the water flooding and that was going on over by Sparta and Toma area. It was good to see that. Ernie had told me they were going to be going over there and doing that, and I'm glad to see that we had people that were willing to go out of their way and help out other areas of our state in need and take time out of their day. Probably were there for quite a while.
Yeah, I could just say that they normally wouldn't be going that far, but the 3 counties that would have supported Juneau County were also in the same boat. So they reached out to Wood County and asked if any of the departments were going. You saw from the news reports, 6 or 7 departments went. We were there from early morning till, I believe they came back just before midnight and they were released. They had some significant activities that they were involved in. They had to rescue an ambulance that was on the other side of the water. And they did that by putting a rope chain through to it and be able to actually pull it across the bridge with, so that they could get it back into service. And then they jumped on to the boats that came from the Dells and went out and helped with some housing. And then we're really somewhere around 11 o'clock. They said the drive home was very slow and methodical because every hill they went over, they didn't know what was on the other side. So they came home very slow. But
Well, knock on wood, we don't have to ask for their help, but I'm glad we went and helped. If we need it, hopefully they'll do the same.
Okay, and let's see, the only thing I have is just announce to the public, and we just talked a little bit about the new construction, 27 homes. Last year, we did 23 new homes, and that's adding to the tax roll $6,700,000 to the tax roll. And we can use those funds over and above our levy limits to kind of help offset some of our budget costs. So expecting if we did on that on 23 homes, 27, next year might even be a little better. That's all I have. Amy, did you have anything today?
No, I do not.
Lisa, got anything tonight?
May I just give a little county report?
Sure.
And it pertains to the town of Grand Rapids.
Right, Ed.
There was a proposal of $60,000 wanted from the county. The city wanted this. And it's what they want to do is give a developer a $5,000 that they would develop build a building on one of their lots or in their blighted area. So people wouldn't be building them in the town of Grand Rapids and Buren and Saratoga. I, as a county board supervisor, am not going to vote for this budget that our county is going to give $60,000 or any amount of money to the city of Wisconsin Rapids so we don't build homes in the town of Grand Rapids. I think it's utterly ridiculous.
Thank you for your comment, Bill. Anybody else? If not, follow up to item 23, public input. Anybody else in the audience wish to speak again? Hearing none, next agenda we'll work on. Item 25, the Grand Rapids Town Board will move into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, Prin 1, Prin C, consider employment compensation data of any public employee over which the government body has jurisdiction or exercise the responsibility to discuss the fire chief's working agreement. Is there a motion then to go into closed session?
I'll make a motion.
Dan.
Second.
Andrew is second. Roll call vote. Bill.
Aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Patty.
Aye.
Andrew.
Aye.
Arnie. Aye. We are in closed session. We thank you very much, folks.